going to do this. I'll give you guys kind of a heads up too. So we're going to, are we live on this? Okay.
Are we ready to start? I've got to introduce you.
Yeah.
You know, don't take, that's the only job I have.
Yeah. I apologize, John. I apologize.
No, I'm just kidding, folks. Yeah, we're going to get started with our next seminar. And Jeremy Morty's been here before. This is a fun seminar, and these dogs are so cool. And what are we going to do with the Packer player up here?
Well, what we're going to do is first off, we're going to be very careful with his hands. But what we're going to do is, I asked Jeff to come and help us out here because Jeff is a friend of ours, and he's got his dog here, Bella. Bella's about 6 months old. And what we're going to do is have Jeff actually do some of the stuff that I talk about a lot and I show a lot. But I think what's real important is we're going to try to stress the idea of the importance of the handler as an element in this thing when we start training dogs. And Jeff's not a dog trainer by trade, but
he's not.
You won't believe it looking at him, right? He looks like a dog trainer. But what's amazing is he's I've learned real quick he's a student. So he came to one of our workshops with his wife Alyssa. And he's a student, and he picks up on stuff real quickly. And so in the short amount of time we've been working together, boy, he's come a long way with his dog. But his dog's going to make a lot of mistakes today, just like all dogs do. And how are we going to correct that? How are we going to fix that? So Jeff's going to be able to help us out with kind of demonstrate some of that.
Beautiful. Where are you from?
Well, I'm actually from Pulaski, so it's kind of backyard. You know?
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, good. Jeremy, how about a warm welcome for Jeremy Moore?
Well, thank you, guys. First off, I really want to thank Mills Food Farm. I think this is just an awesome event. We've been really lucky to be partnered with Mills for, gosh, I don't know how many years, it's probably been 6 years now. They're one of the first big stores that actually, our story is kind of interesting. We're a real small business. We've got some products that we sell, dog training products, that's how we got our start here. But Mills is one of the first companies that is of size that said, hey, we're going to give you guys a shot. We love your product. We love your passion for what you're doing. So Mills is a special company for us. They're a special partner for us. And the event they put on here is pretty awesome. So I want to thank them for that and having us back, because we've done this seminar several times. In the past, we've done it, and we've talked a lot about shed hunting. We've talked a lot about tracking or game recovery. One thing we're doing a little bit different this time, we're going to do a lot of stuff different. So if you've ever been to one of our seminars, has anyone ever been to one of our seminars or a seminar that I've done in other places? Well, there's one in the crowd, and that's usually more than normal. So we got a whole bunch of firsts. Well, that's great. But the thing about my seminars is no two are the same, and this is very informal. So it's not something that, we choreographed, and Jeff and I were like those 7th grade kids giving their big presentation at school, and we memorized our lines. We didn't do that, okay? So he doesn't know what's going to go on here, so I got that on him. But so what we're going to do is, my seminars are very, very informal, and they usually take a different direction real quickly. So it kind of depends on the crowd. It kind of depends on what kind of dogs you guys have, where we focus our efforts. But one thing that is unique is I've always focused on shed hunting. I've always focused on game recovery and tracking. We've done some upland and some bird dog stuff because it's kind of my background. The thing we're going to talk about today is foundation work and how important some of the foundation is. We've got a 6-month-old puppy up here, and we've got a 3-year-old dog over here. Some of you guys have had a chance to meet him at our booth. We'll be back down there after. But there's a drastic difference in these two dogs. Now, I'm real impressed with Bella right now, because if you saw her in our booth before, you'd say you switched dogs on the way up, because that certainly wasn't the one that was in the booth. Bella is a high-energy little dog. I love that. I like the idea of a dog that loves what she's doing. So, who here has dogs at home? It's Saturday. If you don't have a dog and you're watching a dog training seminar, Green Bay's got more stuff going on than that, doesn't it? Packer practice must be off. But so ages of dogs. And I'm going to back up. So one thing that we're doing different too, and we started doing it in the last few seminars, is there's this cool new thing out there. It's called the Facebook. Has anybody heard of it? That's how old school I kind of am. No. So we are on Facebook and we're on Instagram, and I'm trying to learn a little more about the use of social media, but we're live on Facebook. So we did this we did a seminar, not too long ago, and we did it live, and we had a great reaction from it. And so we're live right now. So my wife, Steph, she's walking around with the camera. She's not a creeper. She's not weird, but she's filming it. So one of the things, we're going to switch mics, one of these things.
Yeah, that thing's clinking a little bit, so we'll just give you a different one, and this should work a lot better.
Like I said, we're real informal.
Yep, so that right there.
Perfect. Okay. Okay, so we're back now. One of the things we're going to talk, the focus today is going to be on foundation. If you guys want to come in, there's tons of room over here. So don't hesitate to come on in. We're going to talk about foundation work. And the reason is because I believe foundation work is where it all starts. And so shed hunting is fun. Tracking is fun. Shed hunting training is easy. I'll say it. I don't care. It's easy. It's something that our dogs naturally do. These dogs are Labrador retrievers. It's in their name. They retrieve stuff. So all I got to do is teach these dogs what it is I want them to retrieve. So shed hunting, pretty simple. Tracking, even easier. And I say it with hesitation because, boy, there's a strong tracking community out there that doesn't like me saying it's easy. Now, when I say it's easy, I don't want to discount or discredit the idea of trackers putting in a whole lot of work. Because it takes a whole lot of work, especially if you want to get good at it. Especially if you want your dog to get good at it. What I'm saying is easy is the actual idea of a dog tracking. I've never trained one to track. Who's got a dog at home that uses its nose? Y'all got trackers. You're fine trainers, right? Did you teach it to use its nose? No, it's been bred into them hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Labrador Retriever, Golden Retriever, all these dogs that have the retriever in it, the spaniels, the short hairs. Let's talk a little bit about breeds. Who's got a lab? I guarantee we're not the only ones in the room with labs. Pretty common dogs. See them all over. They've been a popular dog for 20 years. So, real common. Do you have to have a lab in order to do the hunting stuff? Not a chance. We've got a Facebook page that we asked a question last year. How many of you are using some of our products to train your dogs? We had 53 different breeds message back that they've had success. So throw the breed thing out the window. Throw the age thing out the window. I don't care how old your dog is. We're going to talk about puppy. I did a DVD recently. It's called Puppy Training, Building a Solid Foundation. That will be what this seminar is about. That's what we're going to focus on. Now, puppy training turns people off because who here has a puppy? Pretty good percentage, actually. Who here has a dog 2 years old or younger? Did you raise your hand when I asked if you had a puppy? Because if you didn't, you're wrong. 2 years old and younger, I call them puppies. Because puppies, look at that's my son, he's 14 years old. His 14 is about, I would say, a 14-year-old kid. I'm going to put it at about a year, 12 to 16-month-old dog. Okay? He is not a grown-up man. I'm not going to call him a man yet. Don't take offense to me. But he is a kid. He's in between. He's not a little boy. He's certainly not a little boy. So when you start looking at the ages of these dogs, I think 2 years old and younger is puppy. Now, I got a puppy DVD. Does that mean that you can't apply the puppy DVD concepts if your dog is 7 years old? Not a chance. Because my first shed dog was 8 years old before I trained it to shed hunt. So throw the age up. I think numbers are not what we want to measure things with dogs when it comes to stuff. I don't have time. I wrote an article recently called Great Trainers Know No Time. Kind of clever little play on the words there. No, I went K-N-O, then no. Nobody got it. So I wrote this article, Great Trainers Know No Time. The reason I wrote it was this. Throw time out the window. The question that I get asked the most often is, how long did it take to train that dog to do that? How long should I work on this? People will buy our kit and then they'll send me a message and they'll say, I've been doing what your book says. I got past the first part, now the second part. How long should I do it? I don't know. How long does it take your dog to learn it? And then when the dog goes forward, when it makes a mistake, because inevitably they will, every dog I train, I go forward and then they hit a roadblock. And then my understanding of that roadblock says, how do I fix it? Well, some people try to ram right through. You won't get very far that way. So what do? I got to take steps back. I'll be the first person to tell you, taking steps back is not bad. It's necessary. So you can't move forward if you don't fix the problems that you have, and you won't know the problems you have until you move forward. Okay? So we're getting real deep into philosophy with this dog training stuff. I think this is the part that I really like. It's the part that I get excited about. Because there's two parts of training. Mechanical parts, Jeff, I'm going to ask you, I don't want anyone falling asleep on me. So I'm going to ask you to take Bella off of her place. This is her place. We're going to talk about place training in a minute. Take her off, and I'm going to have you walk her down Now Jeff, I am gonna look for mechanics. I shouldn't have said this. I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna catch him making a mistake. No, he's gonna heel her around. But what I'm gonna look for is two things. I'm gonna look for some mechanical things, and then I'm gonna look for some connection and some feel and a little bit of trust between Bella and Jeff. I think I haven't seen her for a few months. I'm gonna see what their connection looks like. Jeff, why don't you heel her off of there? Heel her through here. And I'm gonna have you heel her through a crowd along the track here. Have you take a lap. And what I'm gonna do is, by design, thinking ahead here, Jeff, I'm gonna have you go exactly the way you are. Because it's pretty dead space over there. There's no one sitting over there. If you guys want to sit down, there's no one sitting over there. This is a really nice spot for him to start out, because there's very little distraction in the corner of the room. But watch what's going to happen as he works through and gets over here, where it gets a little more crowded. Now I'm watching, I'm critiquing. He's got a nice loose lead. I like that. It's a nice sharp correction. Now all of a sudden what happened? We get into a little bit of a crowd, and the puck held up, working through really nice right now. Now notice Jeff's mechanics, because you're probably not knowing what the heck I'm talking about right now, but mechanics is what I'm looking at is, where are his hands on the leash? Where is his ability to get correction? Mason, let me see that lead. Nice job. Bring it back up here. So, let me break that down for you. I'm real impressed with it, actually. I shouldn't sound so surprised like you, but I'm impressed. Well done, Jeff. So, when Jeff came through, I told him, go through there because it's dead over there. There's very little distraction. And what I think, there's mechanics. So, Jeff, hold your hands up for me. Left hand, see where Jeff's left hand is, see where his right hand is. He didn't take his hands off the leash the whole time. There's a lot of people that I'll ask, take my dog for a walk, and you know what they'll do? One of these. They'll grab a hold of it. Has anybody seen their dog? Has anyone ever seen, I can't stand it. It drives me nuts. Anybody ever see a dog taking their owner for the walk? Well, this one, he's got one right here. Well, not, you're in the 99% of the world, because 99% of the people, I shouldn't say it's that high, but it's high. Their dogs take them for walks. And I can't stand it, because it's complete disrespect. That's how I see it. So when Jeff took Bella for a walk, did it look like Bella was steering the boat there? Did it look like Bella was telling Jeff, we're going to go this way and we're going to go at this speed? And Jeff, do it again. Take her around. Now I'm going to ask you to vary your speed a little bit. Notice this. Who's setting the pace? Who's in front? Who's the lead here? When somebody decides to, look at that. Did you see her stop right there? Did you see her stop or hesitate? So Jeff comes to here, he gets here, and she gets a little tight here. And all of a sudden, she stops and lets Jeff go like this and walk by. Beautiful. That's what I'm looking for. But you know what? Bella respects Jeff. And Jeff has had to earn it. So who's got a dog at home that doesn't respect them right now? Nobody has a dog that doesn't respect them. Well, what the heck are you going to train the seminar for? You should be getting a seminar. You got one. Sometimes he's got one. You've got one. All right, and then I'll loosen your crowd up a little bit. So here's the thing. Mechanics are part of it. Bring her back up here and we're going to give a demonstration of the mechanics. Why do I say he's got to have his hands in the right position? Because when you're operating a dog, which that's what he's doing right now, you've got to be able to correct. You've got to be able to correct quick. Put her back up there for a second. Let me see your leash. I'll swap you. Here's will be another test, a little incremental test. We're going to take the lead off. We're going to see how steady Bella can be on place. So he's going to slip the lead off, and we're going to maintain control. Very good. So, who knows what this is? You guys nailed it. Everybody. Choke chain, right? Choke collar. You're wrong. No, you're right. It says choke chain on the slip when you bought it at Mill Fleet Farm. I guarantee you it. It says choke collar. It's probably an 18-incher. It's a slip chain. It's not a choke collar. If you use it the wrong way, it's a choke collar. If you use it the right way, it's a slip chain. Here, a little magic. How do I get this circle through this? I'm joking. Gosh, my jokes are awful. So, okay, here's the collar. I'm going to put it on the dog, right? So here I put it on. Here's the dog's neck. It's on just like it was on Bella, right? So here's where I clip the leash on. Here's where I'm walking down the road. And Bella gets out of position. So the purpose of this thing is not to choke them, it's not to drag them around. It's to correct and simulate bite of the leader of the pack and bite to the neck. When mom gets mad at little pup, what does mom do? Picks him up by the scruff and when my little pups are nipping and biting, I got an email this week from a guy. I'm doing really well with all the obedience stuff, but I got a puppy that nips and bites. Wants to bite at me, wants to nip at me. Disrespectful. I won't allow it. So what am I going to do? No, don't nip me. Now, who's going to believe you? I want a dog that understands who I am and you don't nip and bite me. So I'll pick little pup right up by the scruff of the neck, and this is what I sent him in an email. I said, pick her up by the scruff of the neck, give her a slight shake, and no. Sounds just like mom. Mom growled, guaranteed you get results that way. And it doesn't hurt them. That scruff of the neck, there's a reason why they got all that skin. Pick them right up, shake them up a little bit. No. Now, my style of training is not negative. I am a positive style trainer. Where's my bag of treats? No, I do not treat training. Treat training is bribery. If I had to give him $1 every time he did something right, I'd be broke. And when I stopped giving him $1, he'd stop doing what I wanted him to do. We're not going to treat train. I'm not going to clicker train. I'm not against it, but I don't do it. I think it's a little gimmicky. I think it's a little bit of a trick. Here's how my dogs learn. Forming habits by repetition and consistency. That's what training is. We're going to form habits. And I'm going to do something consistently over and over and over until it becomes a habit. Okay? Pretty simple. Pavlov rang a bell. Dogs drooled. How did it happen? It's classic conditioning. We're going to show another thing here. I get so distracted. I got to finish this out. I had a magic trick to finish. So, dog comes through. I got to correct it, just like he did. Bella got out of the zone, correct it. What happened? It didn't release, right? Put it on the right way and watch what happens. Now, I didn't do magic there. All I did was turn it around. Easy way to memorize this. Make the letter P. Now, this is if your dog is heeling on the left-hand side. If you want to heel him on the right-hand side, do it the opposite. I don't care what side you heel him on. We heel him on the left. Because I'm right-handed and I carry a gun and I sling it over my shoulder. My dog's right here and I know where my dog is and I know where my barrel is. That's why I do it. I don't care what side you heel him on. Pick a side and be consistent. What is training? Forming habits. What are habits? Formed by consistency and repetition. My dog heels on the left. So when the dog heels on the left, and I form the letter P, and I slip it over the dog's neck, just like he did Bella, and now Bella got out of zone. Correction. What happened? It slipped down. So now, the whole point of this thing is put pressure on when she's out of the zone, and when she gets back in the zone, turn the pressure off. Because she's smart as a whip. She learned really quickly within, Alyssa, how long was it before she was place trained? Within 2 days. Within 2 days. How old did you get that dog? 6 weeks. 2 days of training, that dog stayed on the place. You know why? Because they were very consistent. And when the puppy stepped off, they corrected. I was there. I watched it. When the pup stepped off, they went, no. They put her back up. Then the pup stepped off, no. And after about the third or fourth time, little Bella went to the edge and went, and then she sat down. And as soon as they did, I said, give her a little pet. Praise her. So they said, good girl. So what did Bella connect right there? Step off, like, here's my place. Here, I'm on place training right now. You know how much work it is for me to step off this thing? Do you know how easy it is for you to say, if I step off of this thing, correct me? She got me. I'm back. Okay? Now, envision this. Here's my place, green carpet. Here's for all you people that have pillows, the big beds. So here's the big green carpet, and here's the checkered carpet next to it. Now you're watching me and I'm the dog, right? So when I step off the place, when did you correct me? I'm off of it. Did anybody notice I stepped off my place? It was really hard to see, right? And guess what? My little pup laid down and, it's so cute, she's resting nicely. I don't want to wake her up. But she's laying half on, half off. And then pretty soon she went, she rolled over. And she's got one little paw left on the bed. And now you're going to go, no. She's going to look at you and go, what the hell did I do? Why are you correcting me? If they got a clear perimeter, boom, I can correct. So it's timing. So that timing, when the pup gets out of lead, correct right now. Turn the pressure on, turn the pressure off. That's why Jeff's got the little slip collar. When that dog gets a little bit more used to it, I don't have to be quite as sharp. That's when I go to a little slip collar that's nylon like this. It's a 3-piece lead. I got a steady tab, you got a steady tab in between. There's a reason why we're using this stuff. So here he's got a little steady tab, 14 inches. That's a part that's just a leash that's chopped up into pieces. But as we get going, we're going to train dogs to heel on lead. Eventually I want them heeling off lead. And there's a transition period where I can take that little steady tab and just let that little steady tab hang, and my dog feels the weight of it, but really I don't have the end of it. They don't know it. So these tools help us. That's all mechanics. It's all easy mechanics. Now, when I bring my pup home, how do I get this whole thing started? When I bring my pup home, when do we start training? When do we start training your dog? It's 6 weeks. When do we pick it up? 6 weeks. When do I start training my dog? The day I pick him up. I don't care if it's 6 weeks old, or 6 months old, or 6 years old. I didn't start training it the day I picked him up. So those people, if you've got a rescue, if you're thinking about a rescue and you go, oh boy, he really talked about that 6-week-old puppy. But you go, she's 6 months old. I probably missed that window. No, you didn't miss the window. Pick the 6-month-old puppy and start where I would start with a 6-week-old puppy. So that puppy DVD, we're going to start with the puppy stuff. Feeding times. Easiest way to train a dog. Now, why do I need all this foundation? I'm going to wake the crowd up again. Taylor, come on. Taylor. Let's see Taylor. Taylor is the Whitetails Unlimited mascot. He's a fine little hunting dog. Sheds, tracking, upland, waterfowl, certified therapy dog, works locally here at Civil Hot. She does all sorts of stuff. She's our personal dog. Boy, I wish she'd settle down a little bit. It's pretty nice, right? We're going to get her, she's a puppy who's very excitable, we're going to get her to this point. It's going to take some time, I don't know how long, but we'll get her there, no problem. If you saw her at 6 weeks old and you see her today, you'd go, wow, she has come a long way. Well, she's going to go a lot further. This one right here is pretty nice. Am I done with her? Not a chance. I can handle her out at a couple 100 yards right now, pretty crisp. I'll handle her to a blind retrieve. I'll send her on a 24-hour-old track if the scent conditions are right. And she'll nail it every time. Am I done with her? Not a chance. Because I'm a believer in dogs don't stop getting trained. They're always learning. Consequently, I'm always training. So, I'm going to show you some stuff with her. Taylor, heel. Take your time, girl. Heel. Here's a little drill. We'll start out with a real simple one. Come on. Little puppy retrieves. I don't start them out like this. Almost got you. Let me try again. Move right over. I'll get you next time. Okay. As much of a training thing for her right now as it is Taylor. Taylor's done this 1,000 times. No big deal. We're training Bella more than Taylor right now because Bella's learning to be steady, calm, quiet, and honor another dog's retrieve. Bella doesn't have an opportunity to work with other dogs very often, so this is great training for her. Now I'm going to send her and we're going to add a little element to it. Who likes duck dogs? Who likes nice, good duck dogs? Anybody here shed one? Anybody here track? Tracking dogs? Good, we got some. It's becoming more and more, and I'll tell you why. Because it's such an effective way. But I love seeing it. Go on, Senator. Okay. See that little hesitation? She wants to go back and get that homework. You see the control? No, I want you to come by me. She wants to go that way. I'm going to balance her up. No, you're going to come with me. So I get her back. Liner, Taylor. Now, all that's pretty fancy and fun, and all that's pretty simple, relatively simple, but she's pretty crisp, right? Come on. Come on. Bella, you get your turn. I promise. Taylor, come on. Taylor, come on. So all this stuff, you look at a dog like that and you go, wow, that's pretty cool. Who thought that was cool? You're going to hurt her feelings if you say no. Usually she appreciates a little round of applause. Why? I don't keep the spirit up. She's a feels a limited dog. She's got an ego. It's tough to travel with, but I mean, no, she is a very easygoing dog. She handles very crisply and sharply. It's hard to really demonstrate what she's capable of doing in a situation like this. But she does a nice job. Now, that was fun, and I like doing stuff like that. But in order for me to do that, I need certain things. I need dogs that sit, stay, come when I call them, and heel. Because I do drills in order to get a dog to stop on the whistle and give a back cast or a recall or any type of lining or any of that retrieving stuff. In order to do that, I have to do drills. I have to teach dogs to understand not to find sheds that are thrown. How many of you shed hunt? How many of you have seen a buck run through the woods and shed its antlers? You're a liar if you say you did. I was going to call your buck. No, I've seen it once on YouTube, right? You see everything on YouTube. But you won't see it. So what happens is people throw antlers or shed dogs all the time, and they train them, and they'll find them every time they throw them. But you know what? They call me and they go, I don't think he can do it. He just doesn't want to pick them up when they're laying on the ground. But he'll find them every time I throw them. Well, how did you train the dog? You train the dog to pick it up after you threw it. Stop throwing it, put it on the ground, and have the dog pick it up. I'll show you how I do it. Taylor, come here. So you just saw a drill that we did. Better bring a dummy with me. Here's a drill. No heel. Come on. Sometimes I gotta speed her up a little. So what is the difference between what she's doing right now and what she did before? The last 2 times or 3 times I did it, I threw it. This time I set it, and I heeled her back. Come on. And I heeled her back, and I lined her on it. Now, that's how I bridge the gap. That's how I get dogs to understand, pick these things up off the ground, not out of my hand. It's a big step for a dog. But the problem is, I couldn't do that last drill if my dog didn't know how to heel, sit, stay, come when I call him. So, I don't care how fancy you want to get it with your training stuff. If you don't have the foundation, you won't be able to do it. How do we get Bella to start steadying up? I get dogs. When do I start training my dogs? The day I pick them up, right? The day I pick them up, there's certain things that have to do. Thanks, you want to take your Taylor. Okay, let's go back to the kennel. Because here's the thing, dogs are raised in cultures at kennels. And then they transition into our house. And what I want to do is I want to build on some of the habits that the kennel has formed, and I want to change some of the habits that have formed at the kennel as well. Who here, let me see again, who has dogs? Any of you guys feed your dogs? I hope so. So, you got to feed your dog, right? So if you don't have time to feed your dog, you don't have time for your dog. So that's the first thing. So now you're a trainer. And here's how I'm going to show you. You can become a trainer. And I don't care if your dog is 10 years old, you can do this. The best way for me to, I have a lot of people go, they'll retrieve. They love it. I just can't do all that fancy stuff to do with control. Well, stop retrieving. Because you aren't that good of a trainer if you train the dog to retrieve. They did it naturally. You didn't have to train to do it. So reverse back to the control. The day I pick them up, I picked up a little puppy. And at the kennel, they usually feed, depends on where you're getting them from, but where I get the dogs from 3 times a day. And it's on a schedule. It helps us with our house breaking and all that stuff. So 3 times a day, I pick up a puppy, and it was being used to being fed on like clockwork. The little puppy gets excited about that time because for the last 4 weeks, after it got weaned off mama, it has been fed consistently. And feeding to these dogs when they're little is not only survival, but it's like the best time of the day. When everything happens, it's exciting. So, when I get home, at the kennel, they take a bowl of food out. Watch Bella's ears. What? Watch Taylor's ears, for that matter. Did you see Taylor turn? I haven't seen her move that quick all day. Her head swung around, and I'm afraid her neck would be in a brace. So when that little sound gets made, I don't care if it's up here in Wisconsin or if it's down in Mississippi where I get my dogs from, it sounds the same. So for 4 weeks, my little puppy heard this and went, lights out, man. Here we go. Time to eat. So at my house, I don't have a lot of time to train dogs, believe it or not. I'm a dog trainer. We got a dog training products company. I spend very little time formally training dogs. Sounds weird, right? Here's how I'm saying it. Don't schedule dog training around, don't schedule your life around training your dog. Who in here lives a busy life? I've come to find we're in the Midwest. Everybody lives a busy life. We move. I'm wired to go. I go fast and hard. And I found that a lot of people like me around here. I buy dogs from people down in Mississippi. You know what they do down in Mississippi? They're very slow. They're very patient. They do things really laid back. Who in here right now is uncomfortable? I am uncomfortable talking that slow. But you know what? I'm jealous of that because I think that is what I need to do better to be a good dog trainer. When I come to work with my dogs, I got to slow down. So when I get to this dog training thing, I don't have a lot of time to do it. But if I can start scheduling my life and building dog training into it, it's going to go a lot easier. So I got to feed the dog anyway. So I'm going to turn it into a lesson. Jeff, you know the routine. Jeff's going to show you how we taught her to sit, stay, be calm, quiet, and patient before getting a reward. Today it's food. At times, it's retrieves. Transition. So, here's what he's going to do. He's going to get the dog ready. Now imagine it's a little puppy. You're holding on to it. I'll go through the puppy scenario in a minute. So if anyone was in our booth before we came up here, they would not believe Bella is Bella right now, because Bella had a hard time putting 4 feet on the ground at one time. She was so excited. Now look at her. Pretty calm. This one is not. Jeff, where's she from? Hatley, Wisconsin. American dog. Yeah. Nice, control, and look at the tail. The sign of the tail is the sign of happiness. If I had a tail, I'd be wagging all the time. No. So, very good. I'll be the bearer of bad news, Bella. Show is over. Come on, little girl. Back to your place. So, what did he just do? He fed his dog, and he trained his dog to sit, stay, and be quiet, calm, and he lined his dog and he sent it on a bowl of food. How did I take my dog on a retrieve? I had her sit, I had her stay, I had her be calm, I had her be quiet. I lined her and I sent her on a retrieve. The retrieve turned into what the bowl of food used to be. Now, back up, because she didn't do that the first time you did. I actually have a video, I think I put it on Facebook. I put a video on Facebook. If you go to our Facebook page, you go back a few months, you'll see one of the first times that he came back after going home and working on that, probably a week, I'd say. And he did it in my kitchen. And little Bella is a miniature Bella at that point. She's about this big. And she did the exact same thing. And a lot of people went, wow, that's really incredible. How'd you do it? Here's how we did it. Puppy came home. Puppy was very excited when it was time to eat. I hold little puppies, and I talked a lot about that. We talked mechanics for a second. Now I'm going to talk about feel. We're going to get emotional. So we're going to talk about feelings, guys. I'm a real emotional person. But when it comes to dogs, I got to have good feel. I got to have good connection. I got to have a lot of trust. I want to trust her. More importantly, she needs to trust me. So when we get this feel, literally feel, I hold on to the puppies and I feel their heartbeats. And when I get the bowl of food out, that little puppy is excited. And that little puppy goes, it's time. I've done this before. Put the bowl of food down, let's get after it. Because there might be 6, 7 brothers and sisters that they had to fight for their life to get food. Well, its heart naturally goes like a racehorse. That puppy's just going nuts. And it's squirming. Who's ever watched the episode of Friends where she's got the little, and the dog just wiggles and wiggles and wiggles? His friends that old. So the little puppy wiggles and wiggles and wiggles, and Phoebe's got her, and the puppy's just wiggling away. Well, I hold on to the little puppies, and they wiggle and wiggle and wiggle. And you know what I do with them? I hold on to them, and I let them wiggle. And as soon as the heartbeat goes from this to this, and it might take a couple minutes. Did you hear how uncomfortable I was when I slowed down and started talking really slow? It pained me to do that. Like I wanted to go and talk fast again. But that's the part where you have to have the strength to go, you know what? Just hold on to this little dog and wait it out. Who's going to win? Because if that little puppy fusses and wiggles and wiggles and wiggles and wiggles, and you go, I can't do it anymore. Set the pup down. And then the pup eats. You know what the pup's going to do next time? Wiggle and wiggle and wiggle that much harder, because what got that puppy down on the ground to eat? Wiggle and wiggle and wiggle. Say that 3 times quick. So hold on to this little pup until it starts to slow down, and as soon as you feel a change, literally feel a change, set the pup down and let it eat. Now, you're going to do that 3 times a day. I switched to 2 times a day. I don't have time to do it 3 times a day. I do it twice a day. Morning, evening, morning, evening, morning, evening. 2 lessons every single day. So Puppy finally gets the idea. And how quick did Bella figure out, as soon as he gets his bowl of food, I need to settle down. How long did that take? 2 days. So within 2 days, Pup goes like this. I've seen this. I love it. It's exciting to me because I go, damn, these dogs are smart. They learn so quick. And they're just little 6-week-old, 7-week-old puppies. So, reminder to those people who go, let them grow up a little bit before we start training. We're just going to form a bunch of bad habits. So, little puppy, all of a sudden I pick it up, and you know what it does? It just lays flat in my arms, as cool as can be. Limp, just lays there. And I go, nice. Now we're going to take another step. I'm going to add another layer. Incremental training. All I do is add layers, add layers. Set puppy down, puppy's feet hit the ground, and what does puppy do? Gotta go. Because every time the feet hit the ground, man, it's time to eat. So now I'm going to add the next step. So I set little pup down, and as soon as the feet hit the ground, she goes, da, 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 and I go, pick her back up. Set her down, feet go nuts, pick her back up. Set her down, feet go nuts. How many times can I do it before her feet hit the ground, and she doesn't go, da, 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 da. As soon as she goes like this and doesn't fuss, go eat. I let her eat. Do that for a couple days and watch what'll happen. You set pup down, she's a statue. Just waiting for dad to let me go eat. Now I'm going to move on. Add another layer. Put a little pressure on her butt. Make her butt touch the ground. As soon as her butt hits the ground, I go eat. I send her on her name. I send sent Bella, Bella. I sent Taylor on a retrieve, Taylor. I'm going to do that because I'm setting them up for down the road when I got a blind full of dogs, and I'm going to send Taylor on this retrieve and Newman on this one. And I'm going to send a dog and call its name, and I'm going to put a remote sit, and I'm going to have 4 dogs out, 5 dogs out. Look at our Facebook page, you got it all the time. 10 dogs. I don't have 10. I got 6. 6 dogs. And I'll line them up and I'll go, Trigger. Trigger comes to me. Kimber. Taylor. Now I can control them based on their name. Well, it all started at about 7 weeks old in the kitchen when I sent her for food. So puppy's butt hits the ground. Now she gets to go eat. So the next thing you know, before you even realize it, you might be a week into it. I go over, I get the bowl of food out, it makes the same sound. I turn around and guess where little puppy is? In the exact same spot that I fed her the day before, sitting there waiting for me patiently. They will learn so quickly this stuff. But you know what we did to get there? We were consistent and we formed a habit. We had a lot of repetition, twice a day. Exact same thing. And the reward was what? You got to eat. So you can feed your dogs and just get it over with and feed them, or you can use that as an opportunity to train them. So it goes back to the idea of don't schedule life around training your dog. Train your dog in the schedule of your life. I put the garbage out every week. It's an opportunity for me to work on heel, sit, stay. I can do all sorts of stuff because I got a long driveway and I got to walk down it and I got to drag a big garbage can. I might as well get a training lesson out of it. I trained one of the best dogs I've ever trained to heel off lead. Man, at 6 months old, he was a magnet. His head was on my shoulder, on my hip, and he was just, I could walk him through Lambeau Field right now, through that crowd in the atrium, and he wouldn't even look at another one. Bella's not there yet, but Bella did really nice through there, and as soon as she got a little distraction, Stiffen a little bit. That little dog was right here, like Velcro. You know where I trained him? So don't give me the excuse of, you know what, you live out in the country and you've got 10 acres. I only have 10 acres. Most people have way more land than that to train dogs on. But 10 acres is nice. I'm not complaining. I'm real happy with it. But I can tell I can hear it right now. He's got 10 acres. I don't have that. I live in the city. Okay? Here's where I trained my dog. Best dog I've ever had. Downtown Madison. I worked construction. We were building the Dane County Courthouse. And I had to park in a parking lot. I had to go down flights of stairs. There wasn't a blade of grass for the dog to pee on. I mean, it was concrete everywhere. So I had a dog that I worked heel every morning and every night, going up and down flights of stairs I had a good boss, a great boss. He allowed me to take the dog, put the dog in the kennel in our office. So every night I worked on heel with that dog. And by the time he was 6 months old, he healed beautifully. You know what it was that helped me? All those stairs. When you walk dogs up and down stairs, another thing, look on our Facebook. But anybody ever see North American Whitetail? Show on the Sports Channel? So we do a segment on there, it's called Developing Your Deer Dog. We talk about a lot of that stuff on there. We did a segment this last fall on training dogs to heel using stairways. So let's show Bella. Now it's not as easy because it's a pretty short set of stairs, but this might be hard, because I don't know where they're at right now. But I'm going to show Taylor first. Taylor, wake up, come on. So this is only 2 steps, so it's a little bit tougher. But I like dogs to understand. Remember we talked about the clear perimeter, how important that bed is in place training, how important this edge was for you to be able to see if I was on or off. Well, the steps act as a very clear perimeter. So when I walk up, I do not like dogs that are in front of me. I like them equal or half step behind my thigh. This is about where I like her shoulders. She hangs low. You saw that. She's pretty cool. Now I've let her get a little loose. She's 3 years old. I feel like she's earned it. But she hangs a little behind me. I'd rather have her behind me than in front. I won't allow it in front. I'm okay with her being back. But watch the heel position and watch her feet in conjunction with my feet. I'm so darn precision. I want feet on these dogs working the right way. I'm going to show you some turn stuff. We're going to use Bella. We talk about get her feet right, Jeff. Get her feet right, Jeff. And all of a sudden the feet get right. Man, it looks good. Anybody, I'm from Pulaski, Chase area, right? So, anybody ever been to polka days? Highlight of my summer, right? So, I love polka days. Well, anybody ever see 2 people polka together that have never polka together before? Kind of look like me and Steph this year, right? It wasn't real pretty. Steph took some classes, I got educated. So, when 2 people dance together that have never danced together before, or don't know how to dance for that matter, it can get pretty ugly. Real ugly, real quick. Go to a wedding on Saturday night. Tonight, you'll find it. It'll be out there. You ever see 2 people that have danced together for a long, long time and are real good at dancing? Man, it's beautiful, can't it? Nice. There you go. Beautiful. Thank you. So, when 2 people have danced together for a long time, man, it can look sharp because they know each other's moves and they feel each other. I mean, I guarantee you some of those people that I watched at polka dance could close their eyes and work their way around the dance floor and it won't make a difference. I mean, they just go and it just happens and I go, oh, man, I'm jealous. Well, I like dogs to have a good feel with me. So I look at dog training a lot like dancing. Sounds stupid, but I like dogs to work with me that way. I like dogs that I can handle that closely. That has nothing to do with how I hold the leash. Has nothing to do with how I put the collar on the dog's. It has nothing to do with whether or not I got a training bag or not. It has everything to do with how you're connected to your dog. And so I've seen great dogs come from people that have 0 mechanics, but excellent feel. I've seen real nice dogs from people that have good mechanics, but no feel. But when you get mechanics and feel together, that's where great ones come. That's where the dogs that go, nice. That you have to have both elements. So, here's the steps. Taylor, feel. Now watch her positioning of her feet. Notice that? She's not coming until I'm one in front of her. Watch going up. What is she waiting for? Am I talking to her? Am I saying anything? This time I won't even look at her. I'll close my eyes. I'm going to close my eyes, I'll fall. How's your insurance here? So I'm going to walk down the steps. I'm not going to pay attention. Did she stop? I didn't pay attention. Now, there's a lot of distractions in the room. I did a demonstration at Sybil Hop last year. We're going to do Bella. Let's have Bella do it. That's the stuff I'm looking for right down to the feet. I want dogs that turn the right way. Oh, awkward. Have we not danced lately? This is terrible. Terrible position. So we're going to fix that. Yep. Terrible. Come on. Now, read her body language. It's not real confident with me right now. I don't know what you want, Dad. And she's sensitive. That was a little better. She's sensitive. You're a real sensitive dog. Look at her ears right now. She goes, "That's not happy." She wants me to like what she's doing. We'll get you there, little girl. Come on. Let's see Bella. Let's see Bella on steps. Now, let's see how crisp Bella's footwork is, because this might be something we want to work on. There was a little correction. Nice correction. There. Not bad at all. Do that again. Bella, you've been studying. That's all right. Turn around. Now, the next time she does that, Jeff, I want you to correct it. I don't want you to finish it out. Because she's got to understand. You know what she did? She went, "Ooh, I stayed the first step, but the hell with it. I'm going." She went. And he wasn't able to correct it in time. And he went, "You know what? I'm going to go." I don't blame him a bit. Here's what a lot of people are afraid to do. Because I'm soft. I'm extremely soft with dogs. You won't see a shot collar in my house. If you do, it's someone brought it and they're gone and they kicked them out so quick they left it behind. I won't use it. I think it creates more problems than it fixes, okay? I'm not saying you have to train dogs the way we train dogs. I think there's a million ways to train them. I personally don't believe in the idea of avoidance training. I want dogs that trust, that confidence, that feel. But I also don't want people to go, because I had a buddy that's a real nice trainer. He's turned into a real nice trainer. He's a teacher. Any teachers in here? Teachers make good trainers. Any parents in here? Parents can make good trainers. Coaches in here. Got a coach. Coaches make good trainers. You know what they all have in common in order to be good at their trade? Patience. Have to have patience. So teachers make good patience. I got a good friend that's training some real nice dogs right now, and he's got some patience. And he's real smart. He's a student. He wants to learn stuff. So with him, he's got a German Shorthair who is wired heavily. And he takes some pressure. That dog, you can beat him with a 2x4, he won't stop wagging his tail. What's next? Now, do I say do it? No. But can he put a little pressure? Does he have to put a little more pressure on him? Absolutely. This little dog doesn't take much. But I would not be afraid. And the reason I'm saying this is because Jeff, I don't want to put Jeff in a bad spot. Bella broke on him, and you know what? I feel like Jeff, and maybe I'm wrong. But I know exactly what I'm talking about. So Jeff was afraid, I think, at that point to go, because Jeff doesn't want to look like the guy that picks on the little puppy. And I don't blame him. I don't want to be either. But look what I just did. When a correction happened, we got a reaction. Now, I'm a believer in find the level of pressure you need to get reaction, and then work back. So get to the point where it makes a difference. Don't keep going like this. No, Bella. No, Bella. Because it's about finding it. Because you know what? If you go like this for a while and it's not enough, this just becomes normal. And this will get absolutely nowhere. So instead, look at just that little bit has got, damn it, I'm sorry, I don't want, what do you want me to do? So she doesn't take much pressure. But if you've got one at home I took that little German Shorthair, and we were in Kansas, we did a workshop, and he's healing it, and he's struggling. He's snapping that leash, he's snapping that leash, he's snapping that leash, and he goes, I just can't stand it. You take him for a minute. I said, okay. So I took him, and we walked, and he did the exact same thing for me. I'm not magic. I'm not the whisperer. I can't whisper to the dog. So dog steps out, and I went, zoom, and that dog's front feet came off the ground, and he went, and he kept his eyes right on me, and he healed just beautifully. And I went, here you go, man. And he goes, how the hell did you do that? And I go, you haven't put enough pressure on him to get him to react. And he goes, I didn't think I could pull him that hard. I thought it would hurt him. He said, he's a big boy. He's tough. You're not going to hurt them. But what you can't do is go boom like that, and then go boom like that, and then as the dog goes like this, you keep hammering on him. Because what is he learning? He's just going, don't do it again. Just don't do it again. Turn your pressure back off. Find how much pressure you need, and then realize it. Yep, I got the result. Now get the same result with less pressure. That's the challenge I'm looking at all the time. Get to the point where I can go, that's enough to give a goal. Because that's where Taylor is. Taylor, I don't have to put much at all on her. And I'll get her to go, yes, sir. Guess what? It's called respect. It's called discipline. So discipline is something that when I bring up normally, people say discipline and they go, get that collar out from that dog. Well, I had a guy just now who was telling me how hard he burns his dog on a collar. It makes me sick. Makes me sick. But, so, when I'm talking about it, I go discipline, and people assume discipline is punishment. Discipline is punishment. Well, here's a little example for you. I'm not going to use Packer examples, because Jeff knows this story. But, so, Steph Curry. Does anybody know Steph Curry? Plays basketball in the NBA. Okay, best player in the NBA, right? Golden State Warriors. In my opinion, best player in the league. So, he's very athletic. He's very small, but he works real hard. He's just a real good basketball player. Skills, phenomenal. So he is, in my opinion, one of the most disciplined players in the league, both on and off the court. And when I talk about that to people, most people will agree and go, damn right, he is super disciplined. If you talk to any coaches, if you talk to anybody in the basketball world, they'll go, one of the most disciplined people out there, on and off the court. But that's looked at in a positive light, because he's disciplined. He doesn't get in trouble. He's got good moral direction. I think that's really important. So when you start talking discipline with Steph Curry, it's positive. When I start talking discipline with Bella, it's let's see how hard we can pull on her. No. Discipline is the same with Steph Curry as it is with Bella. Respect, trust, good moral compass, direction. Right from wrong. Right? Pretty simple. Let's see Bella do the steps. And don't be afraid to give her a little bit of pressure if you need to. Who knows what time it is? Is there another one behind us? Okay. So, wrap it. Okay. Oh, it's at 1 o'clock the next one? And it's noon right now?
You got 10 minutes.
What's that? I get a little nervous about the time because I'm a real rambler, and all of a sudden, 10 minutes. We got time. Okay. Did anybody see it?
You did very good.
Good job, Jeff. Way to go. So I got bad feel right now with Jeff. I got to work on our connection. Let's pull. No. So let's do it again. Let's see it again. Very nice. Turn around and do it again. Now look. Did you notice the other thing I want to look at is eyes? I like dogs that have good eyes. You can see him looking to her. Now she's a little hesitant to come because she went, ooh, you corrected me last time. Keep working. Because we're going to get it to before. Now it's about balance. The first time he corrected, now he's got a corrector to come. So now we're going to get until we get in the middle. There. Now, you're cheating, Jeff. See, you're cheating. And he knows it. That son of a, he knows it. He goes, I know, because I'm going to take that last step quick because I'm afraid she's going to take it quick. So now what I want you to do, bring it back up. Now, timing was off. She waited for you because you were halfway there to finish. So Jeff was here, she was waiting, and Jeff was like, come on, come on, come on, come on. No, not yet. Wait till you go, Dad. Then she'll come. So let's get the. So this is so extremely simple, yet so complicated. Like it's so simple. So go ahead, Jeff, take a step. And as you step, she should step. Jeff's waiting for her to step, and she's going, you first, Dad. I know this game. Now take a step up. Keep coming. There it was. Timing was there. Beautiful. Do it again. Do it again. Now this time I want you to take the step, but I want you to stop on the bottom because she's going to want to come. Right? Now take a step off. Not bad. But now I want better flow. Now I want a little more rhythm to it. So you're going to go 1, 2, and you're going to beat, and I don't want her to go. So come on back up. There it was. Turn around. Now we fixed up. Now we got to fix down. So you go down, you're going to step down, down, 1/2 step down, and then stop. There, go ahead. Now she's cheating. She's going, not even close to that. Get her down. Get her down. There you go. Now, see how smart this dog is? Right now, I guarantee you that dog is going, I'll just stand on the top step, I can't get in trouble. So that's not it either. Yeah, pretty damn smart. And someone will go, oh, she's got it. And she'll fool us into thinking, on to the next thing. But you know what? It will rear its ugly head down the road when we're starting to work on real fine precision formal work, because you're going to have not good feet. Do it again. We're going to get this good. There. That was it. You had it. Just don't put your second foot down. You screwed her up. Bring her back up. Here's why I like training with Jeff. Because Jeff's been out to my place a whole bunch of times with his dog. He's not afraid to do this stuff. He's not afraid to listen to me tell him. There. He's not afraid for me to give him correction. He handles it pretty well. You know, I don't know where he gets it. I don't know. Like, they're so caressing out there across the street. They never yell at you, I heard. So heel him down. Now I want to get her to stop halfway. I want you to stop halfway. She's getting a little bored with this. And here's another thing that we got. There. Now go down, and I want you to stop 1 foot on, 1 foot off, but I want her to be down. Right there. Correct. That was the correction. Missed the correction. That was it. We set her up for it. But now we got to correct. Now watch him do it, because it'll happen. You'll see it happen. Step down. I'm okay with that because she hesitated just perfectly. She's real close to taking that step. Go ahead and heel her up. Go ahead. Now I want to get one. This is how picky I am. Can you imagine living with me? This is how picky I am. I want 1 foot down on that second platform from that pup. And we're going to do it until we die. I got 7 minutes left. There you go. Get her to you. Now stop. Correct. She's confused. Yep, bring her back up.
This is where you come
Huh?
This is where you come
Let me see if there's Let me see if there's now. We'll see. I'm not going to say I can fix it, but I'm going to try. And if we can get it right, I'm going to give it back to you. You're not off the hook. That might be what it took to learn. Do you see my timing? Now, you see where I almost missed it too? Come on. You see where I almost missed it mechanically? I was way up here before I got anything. You know the difference? Where's that black leash? Bring it up here quick. Quick, Mason, quick! God, I'm a slave driver. So, see the difference? What am I missing here? This is where this is. So I'm used to, my mechanics, I very rarely use a steady tab. So my mechanics are right here, and I got a correction. So I went like this, mechanically with this, and I went, oh geez, it's way up here before I get it. I'm almost up here. I almost missed it timing. So I can either do two things. I can adjust my hand down further, so it's right there. Or I can take this off and have it the same as that. I'll adjust it like this. Ooh, she did it, and I corrected. Now it wasn't soft. Ooh, you're good. It was a soft correction, which I'm glad for, but damn it, she had it. Good. Very nice. Very nice. We're going to get the down. Jeff had you up, but that's not so fancy. Good. Very nice. Come on. There. Very good. We're going to take baby steps, increment, right? So all I wanted to do was get her to understand, you know what? There's a really nice up. All I wanted her to understand is, damn it, put the feet down there, he'll go, good girl. Come on. Yes. Just wait. You're on. Very nice. Let's do a little footwork on our turns. Okay, I'm going to go to the next. Dance. You can see she's hesitant with me. We don't have nearly the trust that he has. So it would take me 5-10 minutes. I have to walk her around this room a little bit. I'd almost have to look at her look at me though. What do you want me to do, Dad? That's what I love, right there. Those are the eyes I'm looking for. She's looking at me going, her tail's going like this, and she's going, what's next? That's what I like. I don't like dogs that power down and go, what are we going to do next? I don't like that. I don't think you get nearly as much out of them. Now, one thing I'll touch on here right at the end is, a good dog trainer knows when to call her quits. Because she's been through quite a bit here. It doesn't sound like a lot, doesn't seem like a lot, but emotionally, physically, that's kind of a lot for her. That was a nice little lesson. Took probably a focused work with her. We got 10 minutes in with her here. Guess what? It's all it takes. Now, put her away. Don't do anything with her for the rest of the day. Don't reinforce any of that stuff we worked on. Let's do it again tomorrow. No, absolutely not. Rework on dogs for maybe 10 minutes on something specific like these stairs. But you know what? I bet you'll go upstairs yet today. I bet you'll go upstairs when you go home. I bet you'll go upstairs when you leave here. I tell people, Alyssa and Jeff were at our workshop, and I'll go through a big drill. It's a big first start. We do this walk up, and there's all this stuff, and I try to prove a point of we got some dogs that need some work on the foundation. And when we get done, we look pretty good by the time we're done with this first breakout session. And then I say, all right, everybody, let's go back to wherever we're going. We're going to give the dogs a break, and then we're going to reset, and we're going to do another thing. And I test them the first time. Because I tell them before we start, I say, here's the deal. Going forward, we're changing your culture. We're changing your lifestyle with your dog. It doesn't stop. Training doesn't stop. When we take dogs on walks, we walk them in the right position. We have them heel the right way. We work on feet. We work on all of that stuff. So going forward, the rest of this weekend, when these people are at our place, I said, I don't want to see anybody get lax on it. It's not during the drills we do it, and then the rest of the time we don't. So after we do the first drill, I say, all right, everybody, let's go. Let's get back to the house. We'll take a break. And I watch, and I see it. It's usually about 25% of the group just goes right back to the old habits of walking, and they just let the dog do what they want. And I catch them, and I say, absolutely not. Going forward, you are training your dog the whole time you're here. And when you go home, you're training your dog the whole time. So when Jeff goes and gets to his truck, I expect good heel position. You know what I really liked when I saw him walk across the atrium floor? Little Bella in a nice little heel position coming across. So it tells me it's sunk in. And Jeff realized it, and he goes, you know what? We're going to be training. He was training from the parking lot to here. Did you come up any steps on the way? He came up steps. I hope he did this. When he goes home, he needs to do this. Yes, just see it. Boy, I'm just a tyrant. But, so here's the thing. Training doesn't stop. Okay? So you don't train dogs for 15 minutes a day and then do it again tomorrow and then do it again. You certainly don't go, well, I missed the last 3 days, let's do an hour today. It won't work. It's constant. It's steadiness. It's repetition and consistency. That's how you're going to form habits. So I think we're probably wrapping up right now. Does anybody have any quick questions?
I got one.
Yeah.
When you're getting the heel at the zone, paid them to put the collar right up the bone, higher on their head, does that make them work way better than
Slide it back up?
Yeah.
I think people do that because I think they are looking for more ways to create more impact and put a little more pressure on the dog. I don't know why you'd want to.
You don't do that?
No, I think I can give plenty of correction the way I did it. And to be honest with you, I'm looking for ways to get away with less pressure than more. So slip chain is a nice tool. I use them. What's that?
It'll be a lot better if I got higher.
Sure. So you could do that to get the result, but my goal would be to get the habit to change so that it's not where the positioning of the chain is, it's that he got in heel position. And eventually take all the chains off, take all the leashes off. That's the goal. So I want to heel him with no leashes, much less. I don't want him to heel good because of how you put your slip collar on. I want him to heel good because he heals. And you might have to do that to start out, but a lot like when I told my buddy he had to really reef on it to get a reaction. Well, I hope he doesn't have to reef every time. I'm hoping he can back that off. That's my goal. Use as little pressure as necessary to make a change.
We have a extraordinary player. This turned 2 years old.
Sure.
3, 4 days ago.
Yeah.
And he's still, we only got him about a month. We had him about a month.
Yeah.
Some great thing. And it's just, he is
Sure.
It's got papers and everything, chip in.
Sure.
big thing.
Sure.
And I don't know what else.
He's got habits, and now you gotta not only form good ones, now you gotta change a few old ones. And you know what? It takes 10 times as long to train a bad habit out than a good habit in. So just go into it with that understanding and go, you know what? I really don't care how long it takes as long as we get there.
Jumping up, that's the worst thing.
Flip him right over. Flip him right over. And watch him look at you and go, I won't do that again.
Wasn't completely bad.
Flip him right on his upside. And he'll look at you and go,
Put it right over back.
flip him over.
Quick by the feet or?
Flip him over. Yeah. Come here, I'll show you. No, flip him right over. Flip him right over. And I bet you it will change that behavior real quick.
Great dog and everything, but
Yeah.
he's really hyper.
Here's the thing. Another little quick one to take away. Balance. Balance is important in training. If you've got a dog that wants to work fast, work slow. If you've got a dog that's sluggish, work a little quicker, put a little life into it. But balance is what we're looking for all the time. John's here, and we're wrapping. If you guys have more
I'm not here
questions,
to kick you out.
No, no.
We are out of time.
Yeah.
Jeremy, that's a great seminar. And I know